Good morning and welcome to Makeup with Meesh, the show where you get ready with me in the morning before I head into the office. And I am actually heading into the office today, not just work from home. Let me put this mic up. I am heading in to the Facebook offices today just to meet with the team, see some friends, all that. I haven't been in a while. I don't actually think I've been in this year now that I think about it. Move this curling iron out of the way. I don't think I've been in this year. I went in before Christmas break for a couple of times when the offices just reopened, but then Christmas and I was traveling, and then we came back and Omicron had taken over, so but I got my booster at the beginning of the year and I'm allowed to go back in, so we do have to wear masks in office, and there's lots of measures that weren't usually in place that are now in place, but still it's fun to go in. I'm probably going to go in, 2 days a week. Ooh, those eyebrows are intense, man. Probably going to go in 2 days a week or so. Just rub some elbows, do all that fun stuff. Right. So pre-stream, I already put on my daily sunscreen moisturizer from Roden Fields that I use. And then if you tuned in the past week, then you know that this stuff, I've been layering it on like butter on my face, because I had a mental breakdown 2 weeks ago when I was looking at pictures, and I was like, my skin is just my makeup was just looking cakey and cracky and just not good. And through a series of uncoverings with makeup artists and makeup tutorials and friends, I was like, my skin, and I went to a facialist, and my skin is just, it was super dry. It has just fixed itself so much in the past week just by doing more hydration. So I've been putting on that moisturizer, like piling it on day and night. I've been using a face oil in the nighttime, as well as a retinol stick. Yeah. So those couple of things have already helped. I still do need to go to a dermatologist, and Botox is on the horizon because she's over 30, but that's not the point of today's stream. The point of today's stream is get Meesh ready for work. So because I'm heading into the office, I'm gonna do some good quality makeup today. First time I've seen people outside of my home in a while. I see them on camera, but it's different. I've seen some folks in the office. So I'm gonna go back to my Tom Ford foundation today and apply that with a beauty blender. I have, the past couple of days I've been using the NARS foundation, which I really, really, really like it. I'm tempted to, I think I'll switch back and forth between the Tom Ford and the NARS, depending on what I'm doing, if I'm wearing heavier makeup or not. But I could see the NARS foundation being a really, really, really solid foundation for just daily use if you're doing more of a light, everyday makeup. The Tom Ford foundation is super expensive in my opinion, at $100 for one of these bottles. That is pricey. And particularly because I use 3 of them in one makeup look. Which also means that it lasts longer because you're only using a tiny bit, but it was still $300 to invest in that set. So that is pricey. The NARS is $45. So definitely more reasonable in my opinion. All right, so I am buffing in sort of like a faux, I don't know why I call it faux, it's real, but it's a contour layer with my foundation. So I'm using the Tom Ford foundation in the shade Mocha right now. And I'm just buffing this in where my typical powder or cream contour would go. And I do this instead of doing all over color foundation, because I just feel this is not blending very well. I wonder if it's something with that lotion that I just put on. It wasn't. It's this is what's happening. All right, we're gonna. Interesting. Something on my face is making this not mix right. There's some pigmentation. Yeah, it's slippery. There's got to be something in that formula. I haven't tried. Oh my God, look at that. What the heck? I don't think my lotion, I guess my new face lotion that I've been using has not like sunken in enough. That is I've never seen that happen before. Wow. It took a little bit of color on. You can tell there's like still a little bit of an angle, but what the heck? I don't really know what to do about that right now. All right, I'm gonna keep going and see if maybe I can touch that up with some powder contour later. That is, I mean, this is like my holy grail of foundation, and I've never seen that happen. I don't know if that's, I mean, I just put the lotion on, so maybe, but I feel like I've been putting that lotion on every morning. Maybe it's a beauty blender problem. I don't know. All right, so, and then I use the same Tom Ford foundation in porcelain underneath my eyes. And this is also not blending, I don't think, as well as it usually does. I'm wondering if it's not mixing with like some of the oil or something in the lotion. I don't know. This is interesting. Okay. But the show must go on because I have to drive into the office. So we're going to keep going and see what happens. All right, that's working fine, actually. That's fine. I don't know what happened with that other one. It might have just been too soon. Too soon. All right. So I use the porcelain under the eye as more of a concealer than a foundation, and just to brighten up the under eye area. I really like this foundation because it's super lightweight. It like melts into your skin. I swear after you put it on and blend it, it really does. I mean, it looks just like your skin, which I love because now that I have been focusing on my pores and making them not look like somebody has built a house in like a village town and is, you know, raising a family inside of them, and they're much smaller. It's just looking more like natural skin, which I like. I gotta buff that out because that looks like spots on my skin instead of foundation blended. Wow, interesting. I don't know what's going on with the darker shade. All right, there we go. Like, I feel like I could just wear this like makeup if, wear this like natural skin. Like if I just wasn't happy with the tone and texture and I was like, let's just do a light coverage, and then, you know, I don't want to wear any more makeup. Like, this looks natural enough where I could like literally wear this to the grocery store and people would probably be like, that's just her face. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of eye primer and do, this is the Fenty Beauty. I'm running out, so I need to pick up another tube of either this or the Urban Decay. I think they're about the same price point, and I don't notice a substantial difference between the two. So I might switch back to Urban Decay just because I don't really have a reason. I'm gonna take my Laura Mercier eye brightening powder and just seal that concealer, not concealer, it's foundation, but you know, I used it as concealer from underneath the eye right there. And this is effectively just like basically putting on a translucent powder underneath the eye. And that way, if I do have any slight fallout when I do my eyeshadow in a second, you will be able to wipe it away, and it's not gonna like stain and make your face super dark. One of my issues last week when I was looking at my makeup, I was like, man, I just, like, it looks so heavy and cakey. And I mean, I wear a lot of makeup. Like, that's not up for debate. I wear all the makeup I can get my hands on. I love it. But I haven't had this problem before. And I was like, this can't just be like I'm getting older and uglier. It happened in the past few weeks. Like, something's going on. And I mean, I think the winter skin has a lot to do with it. My skin was super dehydrated, and I wasn't moisturizing enough and all of that. And so working on that. But also, I watched a makeup tutorial with, I only know her Instagram handle, Jess Southern. And she was like, ladies, let me just tell it to you straight. If you were still baking under eye over the age of like generously 25, like, there's a problem. And that hit deep. It hit real deep, because I was looking at myself every morning with like 7 inches of powder soaking up under my eye to catch the fallout. And I realized that it was more so lack of control when I was putting my eyeshadow on, and also not tapping my brushes and getting rid of extra that was just falling off. I've been not putting powder under my eyes with the sole intention of catching fallout, and literally have not had to deal with dark circles and stuff either. So I think it's all in the application and all in quantity that you're putting on. But, so right now I am just taking a very neutral skin tone shade from my Morphe palette, Morph I like to call it, and putting that all over the eyelid. This has, the only purpose it has here is to smooth out the primer, the eyeshadow primer that we put on the whole lid. And the reason there being because it is super difficult to blend the eyeshadows if you have a tacky eyeshadow primer. So what I did here was just take, this is like more of my transition shade. I'm using a really thick brush because I want it to be pretty wide. And I'm just going in with a little bit of a darker, but still very neutral color, very skin tone in here. And that's just gonna help give me a little bit of excess when I'm ready to blend on my face or on my eyelashes. On my eyelids, it's gonna help me have a little bit of like clay powder to move around and blend well, so it looks like it fades naturally instead of having like a super stark line. But then I'm going to go back with a tapered brush that's about half the size of that one. I'm going to go in with this Beauty Secret and Going Somewhere. I'm going to mix those two colors together. So those are right here, neutral browns today. And I'm going to go in with windshield wiper motions. I'm doing this relatively quickly because I am on a deadline to get into the office, but I do want to start doing some non-live videos where I can actually take time and practice a couple techniques that I've been watching on YouTube and just other fun looks and stuff. You know, maybe like I could do like a beauty queen tip video too, because I feel like there's a lot of stuff that we learn like behind the scenes at beauty pageants that we could totally spread the love there. Alright, and so now that I've done that, I'm going to go back in with another windshield wiper motion with a slightly darker color and put that right below that. Kind of a little bit more in the crease. This has a little bit more of a plummy brown to it. Some red undertones, some chestnut. Alright. That looks pretty blended, but we're not done yet. I'm going to go in with an even darker. This is fun. I'm going to go in. It's Badonka Bling. Okay. Go in right here. Just do smaller circular motions on the corner because I'm trying to blend out that eye corner. I do like my eye shadow to go up a little higher because I think it just fixes my face. It just fits my face, you know. I've tried other shapes on my eye, and this is just the one that does it for me. All right, so that looks pretty blended, and then I'm going to come in here with an even darker, maybe this like, I'm going to mix these two, which you can see, but I'm going to mix these two right here. I'm going to tap off that extra so I don't have a ton of gross, ugly fallout to clean up and deal with. I'm going to really press that into the corner to like do exactly what we were just talking about. Draw the eye up, provide that nice little angle, a little C shape here in the corner. All right, so that darkened that up, but you can tell it all kind of blends together more. I am going to do some stuff in the center to clean that up too. All right, and why not? I am going to go ahead and just wipe away a little bit of fallout that might have come down. Now I'm going to head up under the eye. I'm going to use this really tight brush. I don't know what it's called, but it is a good one. And I'm going to go in with the browns right here to go under the eye and blend. There we go. I like this one because it's super controlled. I have a smudge brush that's a little thicker, and I just got this one recently, and I started using it, and I was like, oh, okay, this is a lot easier to not get a ton of fallout underneath my eyes by just using a smaller brush. So, seems pretty obvious, but not obvious to me, apparently. Alright, brought that one down a little deeper than I wanted to. I'm going to wipe away any excess and then use my super angled pointy brush. Go ahead and clean up right underneath that. And we'll blend some of that out. Alright. And then I'm going to go back right underneath it, and we're going to add in some like fun golds, because like, love a gold moment. Just going to add that as an accent. Blend that in. And I'll clean this up with this brush, same thing. Alright, so I'm going to add in on the top as well. Need a little bit of fun. I'm going to bring in our golds on the top lid as well. Just going to fan those in. There we go. Alright, that looks pretty good. Nice and. Alright, the top I know is a hot mess. It's not blended at all. I know. Calm down. We're going to fix it. Alright, so I'm going to take my super nude light colors, and I'm going to come back in here and sort of blend over the top of these just to lighten those up, lighten those edges up, and add a little bit more like powder to work with. And then I come in right under with this brush. I have no idea what it is, but it's the best brush ever, and it literally cleans up all of my mistakes every time. So I basically tap on whatever color I want to highlight underneath my brow bone, and then use that to blend in. Alright, and then I can come back in here with my... Alright, and then that looks way more blended and good. Alright, and we'll do like more of a chocolate brown eyeliner. Because a stark black is a lot. I just put a little bit of just like a little tinge of kohl eyeliner on the lash line, and I do that so that where's my eyeliner brush? I just do that so that it's a little bit darker in the corner, but I don't take it all the way in. Alright, so... And then the pigment of the eyeshadow, just I feel like it sticks to it a little bit better, and it just looks darker in the corner, and that's just what I want, and that's what I like. Then I'm going to bring this up and wing it up, like so. And so that pulls in kind of that under eye smudging that I had did earlier. My Alabama's coming out, and gives you a nice little wing, and it draws the eye up. So that's what works for me, but you do you. I am going to go ahead and touch up right underneath. I had a little bit more fallout than I had a little bit more fallout than I expected. So I'm going to come in, wipe that away, touch this up with a little bit of cleaning powder there. I still need to work on not getting all the fallout falling down on my face, especially if I'm not going to be putting any powder there to protect it. That is very new for me, new as in like literally a week, so I've only done my makeup a few times this way. And I mean, I'll tell you, it looks better. I've seen pictures of myself. It definitely looks better. Like not as cakey and heavy on the face makeup, but my eye makeup is not looking as good because I'm just not used to it. So I just got to practice, yo. Practice makes perfect. All right, so we can let that dry for a second. That, oh, by the way, that was just the NYX brow mascara. My fave brow mascara. My eyebrows are dyed, a couple days old right now, and so I don't need as much. I can just kind of blend in the gaps because they're usually super, super blonde, but that is the best brow mascara that I have found, and I will not try another brand, basically. I've tried a lot. They all rip out my eyebrows, and my super, super blonde, translucent eyebrows cannot, I can't risk it. So I am pulling down that bronzer down the neck a good bit because my spray tan is wearing off, and you need to make sure that you are blending your neck, because there's like nothing worse than beautiful makeup and the person like looks to the side and it's just like a different color. In summer, or if you're wearing your hair up too, obviously you want to like literally like make up your whole body. You want all of this to blend, so keep that in mind. All right, and then I'm going to go in with a little bit of the lighter color to highlight right underneath those cheekbones, make that more of a stark, snatched look. A little bit here just to help the blending. All right, I'm going to go ahead and blend all of this in with a large powder brush that has nothing on it. This contour kit is like a creamy contour kit, and therefore it blends really easily without having to like add layers of powder. And you know, I'm kind of on a skin journey right now because of my sad makeup pictures last week, so anything to have like less powder and just look more non-creased and cakey, I'm here for. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and go in now and start filling in those brows. I don't color in the whole brow, I kind of just do like little baby strokes, make it look a little bit more natural, like it's actually hair. Blend it in. And just do that in the key areas to sort of fill it in. I don't mind it like having some gaps like throughout it, like really, really small ones, because I just think that looks a little bit more natural. Like, I mean, I don't want a drawn-on eyebrow. It's a little too Jen Shaw for me, you know, and it's not my vibe. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna kind of feather those in, make it look more like it's like real hair. And then I'll set them in a second so they won't move. So I've definitely been rained on with my eyebrows dripping off my face. I don't want that to happen again. All right, so I'm gonna go in here and fill in the arch a little bit. And the tail. All right. Okay, pretty good. We'll do one little pass over with our little spoolie. Get that little guy fixed. I like to do this because it just makes me feel like it kind of blends any of the harsher lines, and you can like purposely put the hairs where they should go. And it also tells you, like as the hairs move, are there anywhere that you kind of missed the color, like right there, those couple of places. There we go. All right, this part's always the hardest for me, this front section. I need to start using my Lash Boost or Latisse or whatever on my eyebrows because they're just not filling in right there like they used to. So I will set my eyebrows at the end. I don't like to do that until I've done like all my setting powders and stuff because it gets in there and they look, I don't know, just like you move around the glue basically on your face and then it just loses shape. Oh, you just don't want to deal with that. All right, so I'm going to take another big powder brush and use the Mercier translucent powder very, very lightly. Basically just doing the same thing I did with the brush that had nothing on it, but this time I am adding a very, very light coat of translucent setting powder. This is more so for like oil control and shine and just to make sure everything stays in place. But I don't really want to add color or like thickness to it because, you know, once again, wrinkles. Yeah, I'm going to do my liquid blush from NARS today. Basically because my beauty blender is already wet, so why not? This is in Orgasm. I like the liquid blush from NARS in the shade Orgasm better than I like the powder blush, because I don't know what it is, but I feel like the pigment's stronger on the liquid, and it looks more intense when you first put it on, but then it kind of melts into your face like foundation, like into your skin, and I just think it looks really good, and so I like it. And I didn't have enough, but we can fix that. All right, so I just dab it on the beauty blender and kind of press it into the skin. No, like really didn't have enough. What's going on? As I'm over here telling you how the pigment's so much better. I think I'm being conservative because one time I put it on, it was like, whoa. All right, and so you just press it into the skin. It just looks like natural glow. So pretty. I like this better because the powder, I just feel like it's really heavy. Like it has, honestly, now that I'm looking at it, because I used the powder one yesterday, now that I'm looking at it, I don't think that the color is that much stronger in the liquid, but it's just the fact that I have to put like 7 coats of the powder on. I feel like I'm like caking it on, and that is it just makes it look heavy in my mind after that. You know, it'd be like putting layers and layers of powder on. Same thing. My eyebrow itches, but I can't. I haven't set you yet. I can't itch you. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to do a little bit of highlighter on the top, like so. That was a little too much, if you ask me. I think, just going crazy over there. And then I'm going to go underneath with more of a contoured highlight. Or like a darker shade, you know. All right. There we go. I went down a little further than I liked on that, so I'm going to clean that up with a little bit of the lighter shades in my contour kit. Try to, there we go. And we'll blend all that in. Okay, that's pretty good. Now it's time for some mascara. All right, so I'm using the Lash Paradise, is that right? No. I'm using the Lash Sensational, Sky High Lash Sensational by Maybelline. And I love it. This is one of my fave mascaras. I've tried them all. And I found this one last year when it went viral on TikTok. And I've even tried a few of the more newer viral ones in the past year, but I just keep going back to this one. I think this is like my 5th tube of this stuff. And that's with trying other mascaras. But I'm going to branch out soon because I just got a ton of samples in the mail from my Sephora order. I have to talk like I can't understand English when I'm doing mascara. I've got to focus. So, one word at a time. All right. Okay, I'll come together. I'm a 2-coater on mascara. I hate doing mascara on camera. It feels like it takes forever. Okay, let's touch this up. I've been using Lash Booth by Roden & Fields, and that stuff works. But I got a couple months supply of Grande Lash. And I was like, my tube of Lash Boost just ran out, and I was like, well, I might as well just use this just to get rid of the samples and, like, you know, try it. I've only been using it for a few days, so it's really hard to say that, like, anything has changed. Something just tells me it's not going to work, and I'm like, I don't know. I have something that works, so I'm like, should I keep going with the sample just because I don't want to waste a product, or... But I also know that stuff takes, like, months to make a difference, so I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to hold out that long or just stick with what I know works. So if anybody out there uses the Grande Lash, this stuff, yeah, Grande Lash MD, let me know if you like it or if I should just cut my losses and stick with my Roden & Fields, because that stuff works. It did take about 2 to 3 months for that to start working, but once it worked, it really worked. My eyelashes looked amazing, and I feel like they haven't been looking that great lately. I attribute that both to being like the end of the bottle. I can always tell when it's like the end of the tube and I'm stretching it too far, because it's like, ooh, they start shrinking again. So I don't know if it's that, and I need to give the Grande Lash some time or what. All right. There we go. Mascara, done. All right, I typically put on lips right after, but since I am gonna curl my hair today, I'll go ahead and toss in a few hair curls. First, I don't have to do, you know, like full hair curls, but I just need to kind of top off some of the body and the wave that's already here. Definitely gonna need a lot of dry shampoo because it's been a couple days since I've washed my hair, but it's been like up in a clip basically for days. So it's looking a little, I need to try a straight look. I don't think I've done a straight look since I got my hair cut like this. For those of you who don't know, I'm on quite the hair journey. About 2 years ago, I listened to my husband. I know, first mistake. And he convinced me that I should, dry shampoo. He convinced me that I should dye my hair platinum blonde. It was gradual. It was like, you should go a little blonder this time. Yeah, babe. So, I'm an idiot and I listened to him. And eventually went full on platinum blonde. And for those of you who don't know, once you go platinum, you never go back. So like literally it basically opens up and kills all of the pores or follicles, I don't know what the word, I'm not a hairdresser, in your hair, and like it's so hard to recover from. My hair wouldn't take any color or anything on top of it, and so my only choice at that point was like basically just grow out the platinum. So I've been growing it out for 2 years at this point. I used to have hair like literally down to my hips. People thought I had extensions and I did it. It was so great. But, thank you so much. Just got a coffee delivery. But anyway, so we're like 2 years later and I just got rid. Like you can tell there's a little bit of fringe of platinum in there. But here we are 2 years later on the other side of the journey, gotten rid of almost all of it. And now I'm in grow mode. So I'm growing my hair back down to the hips so I can have these long, gorgeous beach mermaid waves and be happy. All right. So I'm pretty excited about going back into the office today. Like I said, I went in before Christmas, but I haven't been back in this year because we literally spent 15 of the like 30 days, or I think even more than that. I think we spent 19 actually, technically, of the 30 days in January in quarantine for COVID. None of us had COVID, thankfully. But every time that there's an exposure in our kids' classroom, they have to close the classroom down, which makes sense. And there have been a couple of positive cases in the classroom, so they've had to close the classroom down, which has meant that the kids have to work that we have to work from home with the kids, which is, if you have kids, freaking impossible. So that's been a fun little journey. So January has been insanely hectic, and spray. This is Orbe Hairspray. Dude, so good. So good. Smells amazing. Works amazing. I usually use Big Sexy, but I kind of splurged on the Orbe Hairspray during one of the Sephora sales, and oh, dude, it's so good. It's so good. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go back to Big Sexy. It's that good. But it's pricey. It's like $49 for that, which isn't stupid, but also worth it because it's so good. Anyway, so we've been home pretty much all of January, and which is not new because we've been home pretty much the whole pandemic. But we've been home with our kids for the month of January. Also not new because that's happened periodically throughout the pandemic. But it was just a lot at once when Omicron was in the peak surging and school was closing like every other day, and we're trying to work from home, and I just moved into a new job, and I'm still at Facebook or Meta, but I just moved into a new team that I'm managing, and you know, you just like when you start a new job, even if it's not a new company, you're like trying to learn the team and the org and everything, and it was just chaos. It was like bringing my 1-year-old to every meeting with me, and just a nightmare. My husband also works, and he too has been in kind of chaos for the month of January, not just because of COVID and having our kids home, but he was in the process of starting at Google. He's just moved over to Google, and you know, like, got to wrap up stuff with your current role, your onboarding, like trying to meet people, the team, like all of that, like, you know, it's just like stress, pressure, stuff to do, whatever. So it's been an interesting month with of 2022. So I'm just like hoping for normalcy, whatever that means anymore. But all that to say, because of the chaos in January, and like my plan was to go back into the office 2 days a week, but because of the chaos in January and stuff, I haven't made it back in consistently yet. And whatever. So today's my first day in, and first day in of 2022. I'm excited to see people. Haven't seen many of my coworkers. Well, on this team particularly, like on the new team that I'm on now, I haven't seen like any of them in person. So that's fun. I get energy from going into the office like 2 days a week, but anything more than that is really, really draining for me. So I'm really, really grateful that we have this hybrid model that I can go in kind of when I want to. That's basically for right now until we open up more formally, you know, when COVID clears up, if that's ever a thing. I don't know. We've been saying that for 2 years, so whatever. But we have really good food, so that's nice. We have a chef and a cafeteria at Facebook, and they make amazing food. So that alone is worth going into the office, because you get like a decent meal. Like literally earlier this week, I made like a personal charcuterie board of beef jerky, like a piece of cheese, like a walnut, and like it was just like the saddest like single plate of wannabe charcuterie. And that was only because like I literally had no other food. It was just like a smorgasbord of things I could find in the pantry. And I'm going to go into the office today, and they're going to have vegetables. They're going to have like, I mean, just like good stuff. So that's exciting. All right, we're almost done here. I know I said I wasn't going to curl it, but just the shape of my hair, we really needed to, you know. I said I wasn't going to curl it all, so I was going to like touch up more, but it was a lot straighter than I thought it was. I actually need to spray some dry shampoo back here too. Soak up some of this unwashed hairness. All right, so basically I'm taking this center section and curling it back in hopes that it'll give me a little bit more body on the top and towards the back of my head, so that I don't have like super colonial vibes, you know? All right, there we go. Okay, a couple more pieces here. And then I really won't do much to it. I'm just gonna kind of brush this, like use my hands to loosen up some of the curls and blend them together a bit. And then I'll spray the whole thing with hairspray. I might tease the crown depending on how that dry shampoo was working out for me. But that's really all I'll do, because I just frankly don't know how to style my hair right now. I mean, I had short hair, like really short hair, like a bob. in college, but that was the last time that I've had hair that, like, this is the shortest I've gone. And it was basically, it was, you know, for the sole purpose of getting off the last little bits of platinum. And then the intent, you know, as I said, is to just grow. So I'm like really not investing too much time in just like trying to figure out how to style it, because my hair grows pretty fast, and I'm like, honestly, in 6 weeks it's gonna be, I don't know how much longer it's gonna be, but like, is 2 inches in 6 weeks, is that a lot? I don't feel like that's a lot, but I mean, it's gonna grow that quickly. Like, I just got this haircut done like the last day of December, and it's already grown. Like it was not touching my shoulders. So my hair grows super fast, thankfully, and I'm just gonna keep rolling with getting a trim every 8 weeks, and hopefully by January it'll be down here, stunning. We all weep at its beauty. Okay, cute. All right, so now I'm going to spray that Orbe shampoo just to hold these curls in. I'll let that sit for a second. And while I do that, while I let this sit, I'm gonna go ahead and add in my lip. Today, we are going to do, I'm gonna do a pillow talk today. So this is Pillow Talk by Charlotte Tilbury. A very good color it is. All right. Slightly overline the lips. Like so, and I do tend to bring that color up just so that when the, if your lipstick wears off, you know, it just doesn't look like you have that super 90s like harsh outline on your lips. So I'm gonna fill it in with the In Love with Olivia. This is my favorite lipstick. I've been going back to it. It's got just like the perfect pinky. It's very Pillow Talk-esque, but almost maybe a slightly bit more pink in it. But In Love with Olivia, it's like just a really good mix between nude and pink. And because I'm wearing a cute little pink jumper today, I'm going to add in a little bit more pink on top of this. Just kind of like to blend that in. Like so. This is the NYX Filler Instinct in, no. Oh man, let's see. That hurt to bend down. It's squats yesterday in Miami Nights. So I'm blending that in with the In Love with Olivia. Just add a little bit more like pink flare in there. I'm gonna top it all off. Actually, no, I don't wanna use the Kylie. I'm gonna use the Laneige, can't speak. What is it? It's not their, it's Lip Treatment Balm. So it's not their actual gloss. It's just the Lip Treatment Balm, but I use it like a gloss, and it is the best gloss. It's reminiscent of their overnight treatment. I use that every night on my lips. But this has more of a iridescent sheen to it, and it works so well as a gloss. It's my fave. And it smells good. I don't know, it's like cotton candy. I don't know what they're doing over there. Laneige knows what's up. All right. So, I mean, that is such a good gloss. So shiny. All right. All right. Now I'm going to pull these front pieces back, tease them up just a little bit, and do the same back here and right at my crown as well. I'm going to find, that is a mess. Brush out that right at my crown. You want it to be able to fall over because it shows just really good texture. I'm spraying a little bit more dry shampoo right there just because it's kind of a rat's nest in there, if you can't tell by me trying to brush through it. All right, brush through that, do a little bit more tease right towards the crown, just to give a little bit more volume and texture. And then I'm going to do like a comb over here, basically. Kind of brush out that top layer of tease. The tease is really only staying intact on the crown. I know it looks like I did this whole section, but it falls backwards, you know, so it's really just adding volume right back there. You can tell, see? The rest of this, like I can run my fingers through. It's not, I didn't tease the whole thing like that, okay. In case you're worried back there. Something's going on back there though. All right, and so then I'll just, a little bit more spray in here to texture it up. And there we go. I mean, the style works for now. It works as a transition phase, but it's definitely not my favorite. But that's okay. It will get there. It will grow. All right. Oh, one more thing. We can't leave the Makeup with Meesh show without setting spray. So I'm using the Morphe. Got to figure out how to say that. Continuous setting spray. I like it because it's continuous. I use the matte one. I'm thinking I want to try their other one that is not mattifying to see what it does, because I think the mattifying might have been part of the cakiness problem, although I've been using it for the past couple days and alone the powder has helped. So, you know, let's just like, I'm going to pause on changing all the variables at once. But anyway, setting spray to stay all day. And now I leave you. So I'm going to go get dressed and head into the office. And if you want to see the look that I picked out, how I finished styling myself for the day, then head on over to my Instagram at MeeshAmerica and you can see. All right, I will see you guys back here tomorrow at roughly 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, where I get ready for another day in the office. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.